Hello everyone and welcome to Pond and Pebble. Today I am going to be sharing how I personally set up and use my Hobonichi Weeks Planner. Let's start. The Weeks is a pocket-sized planner that features a horizontal weekly spread for weekly planning. This specifically is a standard Hobonichi Weeks April start that I keep in my kitchen. I use it as my health log / planner, focused mainly on food and vitamin health notes. Let's start by diving in to the weekly spread. Okay, so here on the left side, I'll write down what time I get up and when I get out of bed. That is the first thing I write down. This just helps me to keep an eye on getting enough rest every day. The rest of the space on this left side is where I write general health and food notes. For example, if I'm not feeling well in the morning, I'll note that and I'll write down TIE, which stands for take it easy, as a reminder to myself. Or if I ate something new or something that didn't agree with me, I'll write that down in this section too. On the right side is where I log my vitamin intake and any vitamin notes that I want to make for that day. How I create this spread is by taking a chisel tip highlighter marker. I like the zebra mild liners, and I also use these ones I got from Daiso. And then I use a ruler and I draw 7 different colored lines starting with the third column. Each highlighted column represents one vitamin. And then I will take a gel pen. This is my favorite 0.3 Clena by Pentel, and I'll write the name of the vitamin that corresponds to that row on the very top. And if you're interested in any of the supplies I've mentioned, I will link everything down below. Then I will extend the line for the daily section all the way to the right side of the page for every day. So every morning when I get up and I take my vitamins, I just do a check mark after I take that specific vitamin. Now, these 2 vitamins I always take together first thing in the morning, so I don't use colors for those, but then the rest of these I take in the morning or I take for lunch and sometimes in the afternoon. You can see I do check marks a little lower in the daily section here and here. That's because I use the height of this daily section as kind of a daily timeline. The morning vitamins are checked off at the top. Any vitamins I take at lunch, I put in the middle, and the vitamins I take in the early evening, I put a check mark closer to the bottom line. So morning vitamins, afternoon, evening, morning, afternoon, evening. This just gives me a visual representation of what I take and when I take it, because sometimes it changes, especially when I'm testing something new or testing if something is better in the morning instead of the evening. Here on the far right, where there's blank space, I'll write down any vitamin-specific notes that I want to record, like new vitamins I try that day, or changes in amount, or timing, or brand, etc. I started using this vitamin tracker because sometimes I'm not fully awake first thing in the morning and I couldn't remember if I took something or not. So this system makes it really easy for me to remember to take my vitamins regularly. It also helps me keep track of what I do take and don't take, because I don't take everything every day and not always at the same time. Having this spread here, it honestly brings me so much peace and relief, because taking a lot of vitamins or supplements can get overwhelming if you don't have a good system for keeping track of what you take. And this vitamin tracker system can also be used for medications, for liquid intake, really for tracking anything you need to remember to eat or drink or even do every day. Okay, so let's take a look at the monthly spread. So the monthly spread is where I'll write more detailed health and food notes. For example, I'll write down when I started a new vitamin and log how many days I tried it before writing down a report on whether I liked it or not, or how it affected me in the back notes section. I'll also record if I'm not feeling well or under the weather for a prolonged time. I'll take note of any significant diet changes, like in April of this year, I completely cut out dairy. And then here, for example, I started using protein powders in my smoothies again. And then down here on the left side, there's usually a blank note space. I'll write more detailed notes on the bottom left here if I need to, and on the right I'll put a list of things I want to test out or try, whether it be a new food or supplement, and any resupply notes of anything that I'm running out of. I just find it easier to look for health notes in a monthly overview than having to search through the weekly spreads for something specific. And I don't usually decorate much in here because it's more a functional space, but I like to add a food sticker here and there to remind me that I'm in my health log. So I have this cute little bunny eating a sandwich sticker here. Okay, and the final spread that I don't use right now, but I did try using, was the yearly index. I did try using this for notes, but the space here is kind of small to write much, and it was just doubling what I was writing in the other spreads, so I just leave it. But it's here if I need it in the future, and I appreciate that. Okay, let's head to the back to the notes section. I use this notes section in the back to write out even more detailed food or vitamin notes that wouldn't fit in the monthly section, as well as any notes from health appointments or any health notes or research that I want to make. Everything that is health related, I write down in this notes section. Finally, I use the My 100 section to list all the new foods I've tried and whether I like them or not. I'll do a check mark for yum, a little squiggly mark for it was okay, and an X mark for anything I didn't like. This just helps keep track of any specific new brands or new foods that I wanted to try, that I know that, oh, I did try that before and I didn't like it. It's just kind of a reminder. And I like encouraging myself to try new foods, so I'm going to try to fill this out as much as I can. And on this side, I started writing a list of analog activities for mental health, but I moved that into my main planner. Okay, well, that's it. I keep it pretty simple, and it's very functional, but it is so peace-bringing. And I hope this was helpful in giving you some ideas on how you can use this kind of tracker spread for your own planner. If you're interested in trying the Hobonichi Weeks for yourself or in checking out my stationery favorites, again, you can check out the links down below. And if you'd like to see more planner content, feel free to subscribe. I have a video on the Hobonichi Cousin Planner coming up next, so keep watching if you're interested in that. Otherwise, thanks for hanging out, and until next time, peace be with you.